Sbaglia una sola nota e morirai.
I felt it was very much Hitchcockian in a lot of ways. I was thinking, for example, at The Man Who Knew Too Much. I don't know if that was it intentional?
In all genres, there's this how to say, intention of moving it forward and adding new stuff, and that the big difference that David Chazelle put on the script is the pianist, the victim, and the only one that can save himself and his wife while he's playing. So only that made me feel like we were doing something interesting enough and like a kind of a new challenge, and not only playing tribute to Brian De Palma and Hitchcock.
Yeah.
But yes, it's a Hitchcockian movie by definition.
Siediti o le sparo per davvero. Avanti. Non è quello che volevi. L'hai detto tu che ti confondeva. Confonde tutta la tua vita, a quanto pare.
You kind of showed the connection between these two apparently distant places in the history of cinema. I mean, Hitchcock and the 90s, action movies. But where do you think the thriller genre is now, and where is it headed for the future?
I think that I never liked thrillers. By the way, when I was a kid, I loved way more like fantasy movies, and fantasy includes like Labyrinth or something like Cherry Killian that I love. But it's true, the thriller. I like the thrillers that are about suspense, that has to do with that focus more on the emotions of the characters than in the plot. And I don't like, ironically, the ones that are plot driven, like with a premise, like a Grand Piano. But suddenly, I think that we're in a moment where there's going to be a lot of movies based on a crazy premise, because Hollywood is aiming for that kind of production. And Gravity is one, despite it's a more profound and deep movie. And Buried, was produced by producers and directed by Rodrigo Cortés, is another example of a high concept film that it was very successful.
Dio.
Su, coraggio. Volare? Anche a me un tempo faceva una paura della miseria.
Spielberg and Lucas said that the Hollywood production model, like the blockbuster era, is kind of ending.
Yeah,
because
the ones that they started.
Yeah, because blockbusters are too expensive. So do you think that maybe international co-productions, like for example the films that you produce in Spain, can be the solution to this problem?
I can give you an example with Luc Besson. Luc Besson has been doing it for years, like bringing American talent as actors and producing movies like... the sad thing about Luc Besson is that he's not making more movies like Leon. I think that we're getting into a cosmopolitan world, and a kid can do something on YouTube and the world is watching, so the industry has to react to that, and they have to understand that they have to rely on this new way of creating content. Content can be created from anywhere. Buried was shot in Spain, it could be shot in Malaysia, or it could be shot in a garage in Idaho. I mean, it's not there's no limitations for that.
Oh, no! Merda! È successo qualcosa? Tutto a posto. Arriviamo.
The most successful movies for the audience is a very basic premise. In this case, a crazy premise. But that premise goes from the beginning to the end. What's going to happen if he misses one note?
Yeah. And
it's like Jaws. It doesn't matter that Jaws is one of the best movies ever done. It's basically this guy is going after a shark, and everybody understands that a shark is a bad thing, and that you don't want your kids to be eaten by a shark. I mean, when you get something as basic as that, you can go anywhere if you don't betray that premise.
The very last question, a question that we ask to everyone we interview. Okay. What was the poster hanging on your wall when you were a teenager, when you were a kid?
The poster that I really...
Yeah.
I must say that the one that caught my attention, because my favorite movie ever is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, it was the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And I remember being in Alicante, my area in Spain, walking down the streets of Benidorm with my parents, and among people, suddenly this magic moment of seeing the poster for the first time of the sequel to my favorite movie ever. And that poster is very meaningful, because the first time that I was disappointed.
Yeah.
I went for that, and the Last Crusade was necessary. It was like, okay, I have to find the temple of them, and I got it. It's like one rehearsal for with a machete, and it's if adventure has a name, it must be Indiana Jones. It's beautiful.
Non mi deludere, Tom.